For this in-session project, we're going to edit some code again. And again, we're going to use a text editor. But from this point on in the course, we're actually going to use a different program. It was important for you to understand text editing, and for really powerful editing, you'll want to still use the text editors that you installed or used on your computer. But we're going to do a cloud text editor from now on to kind of simplify the process for these simpler websites. So this is called ShiftEdit, ShiftEdit.net. Go to ShiftEdit.net. Now you'll notice ShiftEdit.com is available to come up if you type it in, but that's not the same website. Don't go to ShiftEdit.com, ShiftEdit.net. You can install the Chrome extension, but you might want to do that later. So go ahead and get started by clicking on the Get Started link. This is a free account, although obviously there's options to pay for it, but you don't need the paid accounts. You just need a free account for now. Now in the sign-up process, you can actually create an account using a third-party account. So for example, if you're signed into Google, you can create an account using Google. Click Allow, and then it signs you in. So once you get your account created, go ahead and sign in and get to this screen. If you get to like a welcoming screen first, it'll say Access ShiftEdit. So this is the screen that you need to be at. So this is an online text editor combo FTP client. Okay? This will kind of do everything that we did in the last session all together at once. It'll simplify things. It's a little bit less powerful, and it's not as helpful for making you understand the concepts, is why I didn't lead with it. So I wanted you to understand how to do this manually first, but this is a simplified way of doing it. So the first thing you'll want to do is set up your connection to your website with FTP. So the way you do that is clicking on this little gear icon. Then you'll be able to choose a site after you've set it up. So right now there's no site here. But right now, to set it up for the first time, click the gear icon and then select New Site. Now what this is that same account information that you put into your FTP client before. So go ahead and get your email that has your Shoutleaf account information and put the information in here. It's very similar, okay? So I'm going to move this over, and then here's that email that I sent to myself. So of course I'm actually going to make this smaller so we can see both at the same time. I'm going to give it any nickname that I want for the account. So I'm going to call it Lauren and Brenton. Leave the server type at FTP, leave that alone, and then go ahead to domain. Now that's your full domain here. And remember, you can use shoutleaf.com since you're pointing it to your website is actually pointed to the Shoutleaf name servers. So that'll connect you to the same server, shoutleaf.com or your name. Just use your name. So mine is laurenandbrenton.com, including the top level domain part of the domain name. So .com, .net, .org, whatever. And then go ahead and put your username. That username is the same username you got here. And then the password. Copy and paste your password. And go ahead and save that by default. Now the directory, this will let you choose which directory to start with by default. So you actually probably can't change that until you've first logged in at least once. But you will want to go back and set this to www or public_HTML so that you don't have to navigate up to public_HTML every time. And then this is the web URL, leave that alone. So go ahead and do test connection before moving on. If you get an error like this, it's because you entered something wrong in one of these fields. So I intentionally put the wrong password in, so let me correct that and then we can move on. So now that you have connected, you can go in and change the starting directory. You're going to look for www or public_HTML. There's actually a quirk with the way that this works. You can see how the www directory has been renamed to this longer name. So this actually kind of breaks it. It's indicating that this is a shortcut. instead pick public_HTML. You can see how this works and this doesn't. So pick public_HTML as your default startup directory, so you don't, when you log in, you don't get presented with all this and have to find it each time and then navigate up to it. Public_HTML, don't go into it, just the folder there, and choose that folder. There, now you are connected there and you can save your connection. Great, so you can see that I have logged in. Let me close this. Now I'm connected to my server with FTP right here on the left here. Now I've got a bunch of these tabs that keep opening. Now this is a way to create a new file, and you're going to start with HTML. But first notice that you've already got your file over here. Whatever it was that you named it, it's right here, and hopefully you gave it the .html extension. So this is a way of editing the files on the cloud directly. So you won't have to do that whole uploading in between each edit. So if you just click on it once, nothing's going to happen actually. So to edit it, you have to either double click it or right click. If you want to right click to edit, you have to go to open. It's a little bit unintuitive, and not one of these opens, this open. But instead, just double click on it. This brings it open, and you can see the file that you uploaded previously. So here it is, hello world. Let's go to my website to kind of see what it is that I've got here, just to remind us. So here's laurenandbrenton.com, and there's that file. And remember, I can type /hello.html, and I can see my document there. Okay, so now I've got this window open, this tab, and this tab with the file on the cloud being edited. I don't need this tab anymore. So I'm actually going to pull this out so that I've got it in a separate window, not just a separate tab. And then I'm going to make it so that I can see both at the same time, because I'm going to be going back and forth. So go ahead and do that as well. Make your windows open next to each other, and I'm going to make it. All right. So let's go ahead and make a change. So I just made a change here, and note I did not save it, and a little asterisk comes up here indicating that a change has been made to the document and it has not been saved. So without saving, what happens if I refresh on laurenandbrenton.com? Nothing, okay? But if I save it, here's the save icon, saving hello, and now that little asterisk goes away. Now if I refresh on my website, on the internet live, you see my change. So this is cool because by saving, it did more than one thing. It saved it, and it did the FTP all for me, and it made it all connect, and it simplified the process a lot. So you can think of this as a live editor, live website editor making changes.